Welcome, folks, to the RPPFM David Barke Junior Footy Show, and what a great morning it is, Saturday morning. And I suppose, Mitch, welcome along.
Thank you, Pete.
And Noah.
Thanks,
And
Pete.
special guest, the Doc. Doc, how you going?
Sos, how are you?
Sensational,
I'm very well, mate.
It's great to have you on the show today, and on today's show we're going to reflect and probably talk about some controversial items, maybe about the Andrew Gaff story, what's going around.
Can't avoid that at the moment.
Real big news in footy, and I suppose it has ramifications all the way down to the junior ranks and how we react. So a lot of social media about that, so we'll give our view, and I think we've got some common sense people on the table, so we'll give a wrap there. And then we'll also have a look at FDJFL started their finals last week, so we'll get stuck into that and have a look what's going around there. There's some great matches. I was lucky enough to be out at Devon Meadows at Gluva Reserve last Sunday and was treated to two matches that were of high standard. Only thing that was different was really how they used the wind, so we'll talk about that later. And we've also got the Doc in from Tyabb, and we'll have a chat to him about his finals preparations for Saturday finals coming up down at Tyabb.
Yep.
And he's got a full board of games, 14 games. We'll go through
14
those.
games.
So big news happening down at Tyabb. So really great to have that on. Anything else we've got to bring on the shows tonight? I'll tell you what, a whole range of results, and we'll go through some best players and a couple of goal kickers to match. Yep. And we might even throw in a couple of highlights from the games just to see how everyone travelled. So let's get stuck into it, folks. Noah, you want to lead us off?
Sure, with my round report.
The most important topic of the week, or are we going straight into it?
I reckon we go on the most important topic of the week. What do you reckon, Noah?
Depends what you feel like.
Got plenty of time, eh? It's the host telling the producer what to do. It's great to have.
I'm happy to kick it off with Andrew Gaff. What do you reckon?
Let's get into it. So he's copped 8 weeks.
He has. Right amount, too much, too few, too many, sorry.
Look, I suppose were the AFL bit of public perception out there that maybe you should have got the life ban, maybe a public hanging. That's what social media wants, but in actual fact, he looked remorseful, and he's done the right thing and jumped on the front foot after the game. So, geez, I reckon it's a toss-up between maybe 6 and 8, but 8's really pushing on the heavy side.
It was never going to be anything less than 6. It was I think it was tough to watch. Not only obviously what happened to Andrew, but his reaction afterwards too.
Yep.
You could only imagine what was going through his head after that.
Yep, and look, there's a lot of people out there that are saying that he was trying maybe to hit his chest, and I heard Wayne Carey, of all people, saying they were trying to hit. He was trying. A lot of players now are trying to hit in the chest.
Yeah,
because hitting in the stomach.
You say it all the time.
Is reportable, so they're just trying to do that. So.
I think that's what he said when he faced the tribunal. I think he intentionally tried to hit him in the shoulder or the chest, but...
He missed.
Yeah.
So for me, the intent's there. So if the intent's there, shouldn't, if we're going to start jumper punching and all that, shouldn't be just an automatic week?
Should be the overall, shouldn't it?
Should be.
Yep, so
where you hit him's irrelevant. Well, mind you, it probably, the injury's probably definitely... different grades of injuries, but I think if you've got intent to strike somebody, it's, whether it's in the chest, in the stomach, it's still an intent to strike.
And, jump a punch, you get a fine.
Yeah,
and it's just a little, probably about 30 centimetres difference, and you cop 8 weeks. So, look, they're both, be fair to say, they're both suffering.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure... And as we mentioned prior to the show, that both families are having a chat with each other because they're pretty close ties over there
They've gone about it very well. I think. Yep. I don't think the Brayshaws could have dealt with it any better.
So maybe we just put it to bed and stop the social media. Social media can bugger things up, but
especially for the players. It puts them through a lot.
I believe Andrew's come home during the week.
He has. Yeah, he's with his family in Melbourne.
And maybe you'll
permanently there.
Might be playing down at the an AFL club in Melbourne, but that's another rumour. So we'll just keep on going. What else has been in the news, folks?
I heard that Jared Pollock's on his way out of Port Adelaide as well. North Melbourne offering him the big bucks.
He's going to start you calling Scoop Quint shortly, Mitch.
Scoop.
So
I've heard rumour has it 3.5 million over 5 years, I think, for him. So he's found a bit of form lately, which is...
And a young, we won't call him young, but we'll call him mature age Mr. Hanbury from Sydney.
Yeah, a lot of talk around him.
Might be getting a gig down at St Kilda.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Don't know how you offer a contracted player a contract, but we'll work on that one.
You can do anything now.
And then the other one was that I heard during the week was there's some. We might come back to it. There's some more. Might have to keep it off the airways for legal reasons. So that's all good. I suppose the other thing that really important was FDJFL finals got underway this week.
Yeah, like you said, some very good matches.
Really
Really
great quality matches. I was lucky enough to be out at Devon Meadows and saw under 17s B and under 17s A, or we call them 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and really high quality matches and maybe some upsets, especially an upset over Bond Beach. But it was some great use of the wind and some real strategic thinking with the kids, and some amazing goals. And we'll take a look at those footages and let you decide what you think some of the best ideas are, or best selections are. Noe, what else you got? Anything?
Yep, so I've got my round report.
Let's get stuck straight into it.
Sure, I'm just getting that up now. Coming up in a second, just loading.
So you've got a couple of the matches that Pete saw on the weekend.
Yeah, so last weekend, as we know, was round 14 for the MPJFL and FDJFL. We also had the start of finals for the Under-17s Division 1 in FDJFL and some other teams across the FDJFL. Like a lot of the weekends we have had recently, the weather started off quite chilly and windy, but the sun still tried to shine through the dull clouds and turned out to be a really nice day, though Sporting Pulse provided the following results around the grounds. In the MPJFL Under-18s Girls Navy, we have Manalisa. They defeated Rye 11-4-70 to 1-4-10. Mount Martha Black overcame Ballura 4-7-31 to 4-2-26. And Pearcedale Navy beat Somerville 4-0-24 to 2-5-17. Then in the all-important FDJFL Under-17s Division 1 semi-finals, we have Frankston YCW. They defeated Mornington 10-7-67 to 8-10-58. And after my round report, I can get the bests up for that game and some match facts. And in the FDJFL Under-17s Division 3, we have the Pines. They defeated Frankston Rovers 13-13-91 to 4-7-31. Seaford Yellow overcame Langwarrin 9-10-64 to 6-2-38. Then we have the EDS beat Mount Eliza Red 8-4-52 to 1-10-16. And then we have, well, overall there were some pretty awesome games that were well fought, and some games were, and some of the games some teams started to kick away in the end. But overall it was a pretty solid round.
Fantastic effort, Noah. And I suppose if we look quickly, we might just go into results, but we might just take an extra 2 minutes and go through the results and have a look. So let's pile them on and have a look.
Yep, so I've got some of the best in the Frankston YCW and Mornington game. We have M. Kane from Mornington. He had a 6th best.
Matty Kane.
Yep, Matty Kane. Then we have R. Wilkinson from Frankston YCW. He got 5th best. Then we have, who do we have next? We have C. D. Haas from Frankston YCW. He got 4th best. Then we have Z. Staggered. He got 3rd best. Then we have M. Hanrahan Hanrahan.
Hanrahan, yeah.
Yeah, Hanrahan. He was second best. And then best on ground was N Heath from Mornington.
For Mornington, yeah. And then R Steele was best on for Frankston.
And they did pretty well, and I understand that a couple of the Mornington boys played footy on the Saturday as well.
Yeah, Matty Kane, who's been a lifesaver for us, has filled in probably about 5 weeks now, I reckon.
Yep.
Couldn't have done that without him. So, yeah.
So fantastic effort there. And look, it was right down to the wire. I suppose Mornington were kicking against the wind in the last quarter. Scores were nearly level at quarter time, at 3/4 time.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
they were 1 point off.
1 point off.
3:57 to 8:56.
And Mornington did a great job of holding, but Frankston YCW looked really powerful, and off their half-back line were really strong. So that was great credit to Frankston YC. They progressed to meet the loser out of the Mount Eliza Bond Beach match, which this week will be an absolute cracker. So we'll see that at Devon Meadows.
Mornington had a pretty strong leading into the second quarter. They were 5-2-32 to 2-2-14.
That wind in the first quarter.
But didn't help the wind in the last.
Nah, they didn't score for the whole second quarter, and YCW came up with 7-3-45.
No worries. So we're going to take a break, have a couple of messages from our sponsors, in particular David Barke Appliances down at Point Nepean Road, Rosebud. We'll be back right after this break.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Hi, I'm David Barke. Come in and see the latest in kitchen appliances, sinks and tapware at David Barke Appliances. With the latest products on display from Miele, Bosch to Dietrich, Smeg, Stihl, Ilvi, Bora and a whole lot more. Let our trained consultants help you choose exactly the right appliances for your new kitchen at the most competitive prices. David Barke Appliances, the Big Blue Building, 1263 Point Nepean Road, Rosebud, the Peninsula's kitchen appliance specialist.
A station sponsor.
Winter is blowing in, and Chemist Warehouse has got you covered to help ward off those shivers and chills. And if you're getting out and about, Chemist Warehouse can help you with all you need on the footy field or netball court, from mouth guards to liniment, with stores in Baxter, Frankston, Mornington and Safety Beach. Chemist Warehouse is your one-stop winter shop. Chemist Warehouse, a station sponsor.
Hi, I'm Jack, and my dad is Pete from the Mornington and Rosebud Telstra stores. NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and our team is here to help. We can answer all your questions and get you ready for the NBN so you can stream like a dream, upload a truckload, and enjoy high-speed entertainment. So drop in and see the team at the Telstra stores in Mornington and Rosebud.
Or call us now on 1300 My Telstra. That's 1300 698 357.
Welcome back to the David Barke Appliances Junior Sports Show, and we've got the doc in down from Tyabb Junior Football Club.
Fantastic. Great work, Noah.
Perfect.
So let's go through a couple more round results, and then we'll get have a chat with the doc.
So we'll head over to the MPJFL.
Yes.
They're not quite in finals yet. Got their last round this weekend, on the weekend right now.
So they're 2 weeks behind Frankston.
Yeah.
Rightio, let's get stuck into it.
All right, Noah, what have you got?
I have got the 2018 Under-17s boys. So this is for MPJFL. We have South Mornington. They came through with a strong win over Peaceville Baxter, 8-12-60 to 3-9-27. Then we have Rye. They lost to Red Hill, 11-16-80 to Red Hill score, and then 8-5-53 was Rise. And then we have Rosebud with the bye.
Fantastic. Mitch, what do you got?
Right, I've got the MPJFL Under-16s White from last weekend. So we had Rosebud play Hastings with a convincing win, 12-173 to 2-1-13. Ballura and Dramana looked like a cracking game. 1 point the difference in the end. Ballura 6-15-51 to Dramana 7-10-52. So a bit of wayward kicking costing Ballura the game there, by 1 point, and Peaceville had the bye.
No worries, and I'll go into Under-18s Navy girls. and where we see Mount Eliza 11-14-70 defeated Rye 1-4-10. Then we see Ballura 4-2-26 were defeated by Mount Martha Black 4-7-31. Somerville 2-5-17 were defeated by Pearsdale Baxter 4 goals straight off the bat. So some great results there. And look, apart from the Rye Mount Eliza score, pretty close. So comp looking very healthy in Girls Navy. So well done. We're just going to have a chat with the Doc now because the Doc's got finals coming up.
We do.
And they're at Tyabb, and Doc's probably going to explain what role the Tyabb Footy Club's going to play in the final series of the MPJFL, and probably go through some times and probably a yell out to a couple of supporters for some help. We all got that all in control.
We're pretty organised with the help, this
the
year.
Doc is very well organised operator, folks.
Maybe a bit about that. Maybe a bit of a shout out to those that are putting in the effort there at Tyabb.
Yeah. No, we're going well. We've got finals on the Saturday, on Saturdays for 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks are pretty hefty. I think there's 14 games each day. The last Saturday we've pretty much got 6 games, 3 on each oval in the morning. And then all the grand finals are at Pearsdale the following week. So we've got a lot of people in canteens and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right, and with that, I suppose, what's your expectation? Do you see a lot of people rolling up to the venue? And
we hope so. Like, we're going to accommodate for that. All the change rooms. Had a meeting with the league the other week, and all the change rooms we're using down on the main oval. So we're going to use the netball change rooms down there, and the standard football change rooms for the new netball courts that are at the back there. So we use those 2 sets down at the main pavilion. Bit of a travel for those playing up on the top oval, but we'll have a canteen up on the top oval.
Hold up.
So has Tyabb held finals before?
Not that I know of, Noah, but I've only been there a few years.
Okay.
I know they've held senior finals, but yeah.
And with that, what do you think? Well, how do you think Tyabb will benefit from having the finals?
Well, hopefully, Noah, and a really good question.
That's
hopefully,
a fantastic question.
For you, fantastic question. Hopefully, Noah, the funds out of this, we're pretty much working together with the other stakeholders being the other 2 clubs, so the cricket club and the senior football club. We'd really like to get some permanent rooms up on the top oval, so we need to get a sewer line in up there and a power line in through there to get permanent rooms up there, and we need to develop the actual existing rooms as well. We've got a development that council and the federal government and state government have all come together and put together, which will start in November. But there's still the old facility there that we need to upgrade, definitely. So definitely these funds, with some other funds that we've got, will definitely go towards getting to that.
And also, why do you think Tyabb is the best destination, in your opinion, to accommodate the finals?
I think with Pearsdale being so close, Pearsdale are holding finals on the Sunday, we're on the Saturday. Both venues are pretty close to each other, so it's if you had Rye and Rosebud, they're pretty close to each other, or South Mornington and Ballura. Finals are generally in the same sort of area. So
yeah, they did that once on the South Mornington and Mount Martha, didn't they? They had it was parking. Sorry, they had the finals in Mount Martha, and everyone parked at South Mornington. Yeah. But yeah,
I think now with so many finals, they need 2 venues, and obviously, who's got grounds that have held up very well during the year to actually, because you don't want to be playing finals on an average surface. You want the best surface possible. We've got a surface on the top oval, which really hasn't been played on all year. It's very green, it's very lush, it's very good to run on. The bottom ground, or the main ground's got that dry grass that they've put through most of the grounds these days. So, but that's held up very well.
What are you doing to preparate to host the finals in the coming weeks?
Preparation, we're pretty much canteen up on the top oval with a few other things I think I just mentioned.
Yep.
We're putting temporary toilets up there. We're looking to put change rooms up there, but we're going to use the ones down the back after sitting with the MPJFL. a lot of people, a lot of help. So pretty much with all our teams, we're still we're a growing club. I wouldn't say we're in our infancy, but we're definitely growing. But we've got every team and every person actually being accountable and actually helping out so that we can build a better facility. As I said before, every cent that we get out of this, we're going to throw straight back into building a better facility.
And Mitch, you'd be aware of your South Mornington days, and myself at Mount Martha, was that hosting finals builds a club, and
Sure does. Yeah.
so the expectation from that Doc on binding the club and getting it closer together. Do you think that?
Yeah,
will
hopefully
help?
we can get all three clubs. Well, all three clubs are at the table talking with each other now, which is great. I don't think it's happened too much in the past. We've got some real drivers like South Mornington are about to open up a magnificent facility. So hopefully that's done and dusted for a while. We can get a bit of those funds that are going to come out in the next few years and hopefully upgrade the facility at Tyabb. I don't think it's had much done to it in 20 years, I'd say.
Maybe 30 years.
Maybe 30 years. But definitely, look, the ladies' toilets definitely need to be done. That's very high on the agenda. The kitchen, the canteen, the bar, not so much, but, the senior club and the cricket club definitely, would like the bar redone. So, yeah.
So you'll have helpers out in the ground or on the day with car parking, food.
Food, definitely. Car parking, it's pretty much around the ovals. You can't really double park anybody anywhere. Probably have a tow service, just in case it's a bit sloppy out there. We'll have the Land Cruiser out there with the chains on the back. That'll probably be a free service, and we'll look for a donation from that. Just go straight back to the club, just in case something does get bombed. We will get you out, especially up around the back of the top oval. It may be a little bit sloppy up there. But no, I think it should be pretty good. We'll have a cornered off area on the top ground, which will be just pedestrians as well. We've got to be very mindful of car versus pedestrian at these events. That's probably our biggest risk, I think. Let alone, there's no dogs allowed. Smoking will be a segregated smoking area out towards the front gate. Those sort of things you've got to put in place. So we're trying to minimise our risk. Our biggest risk will be cars and pedestrians, I think, on the day. So yeah,
That's great. And how is the Tyabb Junior Footy Club going?
going good. First year in the gig as president. I was vice president last year. I spent a lot of time, as you know, at Glen Ira, a previous club that we both played for. I spent a good 20 years down there.
It wasn't junior like though, was it?
It wasn't junior like, no. So we've definitely matured. But no, it's going good. Look, a junior footy club's a junior footy club. You run programs, and I'm not saying that we're doing it very well. We hope to do it better next year. You run programs that kids are interested in and kids get a lot out of, and they can see that improvement. You're always going to have kids return to junior footy. If they're not improving, they're not enjoying their football, they tend to walk away from the game, which we can't afford at this infancy level. We need to keep them engaged. We need to keep things going and keep them enjoying the game. At the same time, parents have a lot to do. Some parents have a lot to say, which is great. I think, in my position, you take everything as, positive feedback or as negative feedback.
50-50.
You cop it on the chin and, you take a lot out of the negative and you take a lot out. You probably don't take so much out of the positive. You're always trying to fix negative things. But we sort of work on, things are very positive down there now and at the moment, which is great. We're just trying to build on that. Next year, we've got another set of under-9s coming up. Our under-12s will turn into 13s. Our 13 girls will turn into 15s. Yeah, we had 80 at Auskick this year.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good. We hope to grow on that next year. Running it on a Friday night works for us. So, we've got kids that train afterwards. So, Auskick's been really good. We've had three parents down there, really good contributors. So, for Auskick, and they've been fantastic. And, all their boys are down there, and girls, which is great.
Well, that's fantastic. We'll take another break from our sponsors and have a listen to our David Barke, in particular, appliances down at Pennington.
Big thank you to David Barke.
Correct. and all the other sponsors that jump on the show as well. It's been a fantastic year. We'll come back from the break and talk about maybe some some Tyabb results and how
Tyabb results
and how they've gone throughout the year. So that'll be great. We'll catch you right after this.
We'll be back with more after this break.
Hi, I'm David Barke from David Barke Appliances Rosebud. Be cosy and warm in your home this winter and save money too by installing a Mitsubishi reverse cycle air conditioner. Right now, receive bonus cash card rebates on wall mount inverter split systems and on ducted systems. Ask about our professional installation service. David Barke Appliances, the Big Blue Building, 1263 Point Nepean Road, Rosebud. Call 5986 5544. Terms and conditions apply.
A station sponsor.
Here at Bendigo Community Bank branches,
We support local footy.
Local teams and all our community champions.
Bendigo Bank and RPPFM, bringing local footy to the community.
Watch our live telecast on RPPFM. It's live and it's local.
Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au.
A station sponsor.
Welcome back to the RPPFM David Barke Appliances Junior Sports Show. We'll be back talking to Doc some more about how Tyabb's been going this year.
Well, we thought it might be an idea just to go through some Tyabb team results.
Yep.
And Doc might want to, publicly.
You're going to test me on how well I know my own club, eh?
Oh, jeez, we're getting some feedback there.
Yeah.
No, it's just good. It's good to publicly thank your coaches. We're coming to the end of the year, the last round.
I've actually been pretty privileged this year. I've got some very good coaches. They're all very good in their own different way. They've all got different styles they bring to the table. I suppose. Do you want to start? We'll start at the nines.
Yeah,
we've got two nine sides. So Matty Lang and Matt Foster. Matt Foster's been at the club for a little while, but both Matt Lang and Matt Foster have done really well. Matty Foster's probably got the lower age group. His daughter plays in it. They've had an up and down season. They're, not that we score, but you come off the ground, all the kids know whether they've won or lost. It's one of those things.
It's going to be an ongoing debate.
They know when they're going to sing the song, and they know when they're not going to sing the song.
Well, aren't you with the flow that most of them sing the song anyway?
I think they sing the song anyway, but they sing it with vigour, or they just go, oh yeah, we'll just sing it just for any reason.
8-year-olds, they're great.
Yep. Look, they've been fantastic. They'll be a really good side next year in the upper division of nines. The upper division of nines, Matty Lang's coached them this year. I've got a son that plays in that. They've played really well. I don't think they've conceded to another side this year. They're going to be a very strong unit. Those bunch of kids, very much like our 12s.
What age is that, sorry?
Under nines in the Navy. They've been very strong. So they've been great. Running into our under 10s, Chris Klassen has coached them for a couple of years now. There's some great kids in that team. They've got the carnival this week. It's changed venues down to Mount Eliza now. It was at Baxter Park. Murdoch are running it.
At Mount Eliza.
At Mount Eliza now. So they've got the canteen at Mount Eliza. So I'll be down there on Sunday to see how that's going. But it's good that Murdoch have stepped up and done that. Murdoch also being a growing club. But so they've got a very strong side. They've played pretty well this year. They've had a couple of, should we say, some results haven't gone their way, some results have. They, as I said, the kids know when they win and lose, regardless of not being a score on there.
So just a reminder, under 10s, no scores as well?
No scores as well in the 10s. I do see that they're going to play a final game at about 1 o'clock this Sunday. The best two sides from the carnival, which they didn't do last year because we had the carnival at Tyabb last year. So I think that's a good thing. In a way, it sort of keeps that competitive thing during the day. And then, there's the two best teams on and off the field will play in sort of like a grand final, I suppose, at the end of the day. On to our under 11 girls. Our 11 girls had their first loss last week, I think, to Ballura. I think they were a little bit asleep. It was an 8 o'clock game.
And at home or away?
Away.
They're 11-1-1.
Yeah, 11-1-1. We've had a draw, so but they've been very strong. I think they can go all the way. Scott's
pressure there.
Scott's coached them. I think they can go all the way. Scott's coached them very well during the year. Scott and Ben have put in a hell of a lot of time with these girls, and Shannon as well. And there's a whole team of people behind these 11 girls, which is fantastic. They've been great to watch. I think I've seen 3 or 4 games this year, or 5 games maybe. I try to get around, do as many games as possible on a Sunday.
As a good president does.
Well, I don't know about a good president, but as a president does, I try and get to at least 4 or 5 games on a Sunday. But look, it's a challenge getting to all of them, but you try and make the time to get around and see all of them and see all the kids play. They played really well this year. I reckon they're an even money bet there.
So you'll have a couple of teams, or that
couple of teams. I've got a couple of teams, but we'll go to our 11 boys. Our 11 boys this year. They've probably lost 3 games within a goal, which has probably cost them out of finals. Paul Gundy's done a great job. It's very hard that age of 11. It's sort of you're in the in between. Some kids. You start playing for points and all of that, and tackling and everything else comes into it. There's some good sides in that competition. I just think we've been unlucky on a few occasions not to have that result go our way. They lost to Rye down at Rye by under a goal. I think it was 2 points 2 weeks ago, which that was the clincher. They had a good game against Pearsdale on the weekend. They played this weekend in their last game for the year. But look, they've had a pretty good season. It would have been great to have another team in finals, but unfortunately they won't get there.
Top 5 or top 4 they got in under 11s?
Top 4. Top 4. Top 5 we'd be in. They'll just miss out, which is unfortunate. But they've had a pretty good year. But those results, I think that's where you've got to take the most out of every game and try and get through on every game. Through to our under 12s, under 12 Navy. Now these kids last year won the grand final in under 11s might. They've come up to under 12 Navy. They've mixed it with the best. Mount Martha's got a fantastic side. South Mornington's just as good on their day. Our team, they've beaten South Mornington. They haven't beaten Mount Martha yet, but they've seen that they can mix it with the best.
And just looking at the ladder there, you got Mount Martha 15 out of 15 on 60 points.
Yep.
With a percentage of 385%.
Yep, I tell you now, that side's a very well drilled side.
Yep.
They're very good. They set up well. Each kid knows their role. It's the next level, I think. But anybody. Finals is a different game, as we know, Sus.
Yes.
It's a different dance floor.
Past couple of years have shown that, hasn't it?
When the disco lights start flashing the other way.
Where's
Tyabb?
Where's Tyabb on that, Chet?
What's that, sorry?
Where's Tyabb?
We're third at the moment.
Third, yeah. So they are right up there, though, aren't they?
Yep, and sitting on 40 points with 145%. So they've had a healthy year, 9 and 5.
Yeah, look, they've played well. To come up into the next division and
still
be
do that
third.
well.
They were second for a long time. They had a match against South Mornington. South Mornington came out to prove a point that night, which is about 3 weeks ago. Our kids sort of came back, a bit shell-shocked, but they've sort of regrouped. They're going to be a chance. They're going to shake. They're going to shake both those sides at the top if they play against them, and when they play against them,
they'll probably play off against South Mornington in finals.
Yeah, they probably will. Well, it'll be 3 versus 4,
okay.
And then 1 versus 2.
Yeah.
So 3 versus 4 in the first week of finals.
Hopefully
we'll have a home final, which will be great for the kids. 3 versus 4, 1 versus 2 the next week. Then 3. The loser out of 1 and 2 plays the winner out of 3 and 4. So, we're going to get one of the 2.
And on that, what are your thoughts? Second semi and first semi. Could I ask you that question?
It costs, Sus, there's a personal story behind this. Jack missed out on a grand final last year because Dad thought it was 3 weeks of finals and found out it was 4, and we were in Thailand.
I remember the phone call.
So it was very upset little boy. But you know what? The boys went along and won. It was great. Jack missed out, unfortunately. I'll never live that one down. So we're going to Thailand a week later this year. We've made sure. Look, I can't. It's a league decision for me. We played in an amateur competition where, they played those Saturday, Sunday. Everybody knew where they stood in the first week. 3 versus 4 played on the Sunday, 1 versus 2 played on the Saturday. The winner out of that went straight into the granny. The loser played the following Saturday.
Yeah, and if we've got 28 finals being held over the weekend and girls football picking up more, that means that we're going to have more matches next year.
Yeah,
potentially.
Potentially you can have more matches. That's for the bigwigs at the league office to try and work out. They got a hard job. I don't want their job. Yeah. They've definitely got a hard job, but to try and fixture it all, Paul Bartolo's done a magnificent job this year with trying to fixture everything and make it work. Compared to what we were left with last year, and he had to pick up the pieces. He's done a magnificent job. To actually get a fixture out that works and now to get into finals, it's 4 weeks of finals, it's 4 weeks of finals. It's okay, it is what it is.
Fantastic. And what other teams you got?
We've got, so that was the 12 boys. The under 13 girls, these girls have been fantastic. Scotty and Ben have coached these girls as well again this year. Lily's led them as a captain. She sort of started off the year a bit controversial. A few things sort of didn't go away and stuff like that. But she's regrouped and she's been a magnificent leader this year for those girls. Some of those girls are going to 15s next year. Some will stay in that 13 bracket. So the growth's there. I think those girls have had they've had a good season. They've come up against some teams like Rye is a huge team.
Rye traditional. They are the girls' football capital.
Oh mate, Rye and that girls group. They've got some girls that I probably wouldn't want to play against us.
Yeah, but they've got a really well-oiled machine.
They are. Work that out from last
week. Their girls' program down there, I don't know what they've done, but whether it's in the water or something.
I think it's a culture. It's a culture down there.
The culture of the girls' program down there
all the girls down that way want to play. So
Ken's done a great job as president down there, and they're just fantastic.
They've got some great helpers in there in the girls' footy department. That's great. So we're just going to take a break and come back and recap on the Tyabb Junior Footy Club and the year that has been, and we'll take a message from our sponsors.
We'll be back with more after this break.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Jalna is an Australian-owned second-generation family business that makes us very fussy about what we put into every delicious creamy pot of Jalna yogurt. For 55 years, we've insisted that it's free from artificial sweeteners, preservatives, gelatin and colouring. In fact, anything unnatural. Only Goulburn Valley milk, pure ingredients and friendly cultures, hot set in the traditional manner. Simple and pure the way food should be. From our family to yours. Jalna, a little pot of purity. A station sponsor.
Hi, I'm David Barke. Come in and see the latest in kitchen appliances, sinks and tapware at David Barke Appliances. With the latest products on display from Miele, Bosch to Dietrich, Smeg, Stihl, Ilvi, Bora and a whole lot more. Let our trained consultants help you choose exactly the right appliances for your new kitchen at the most competitive prices. David Barke Appliances, the Big Blue Building, 1263 Point Nepean Road, Rosebud.
Here at Bendigo Community Bank branches,
we support local footy.
Local teams and all our community champions.
Bendigo Bank and RPPFM, bringing local footy to the community.
Watch our live telecast on RPPFM. It's live and it's local.
Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au.
A station sponsor.
Okay, and we're back, and thank you very much to David Park Appliances. That'll be great. But look, thanks for the intro. But you know what? The rights to an intro anyway. Thanks for that, Sus. But look, I suppose you know, going back to Tyabb, you know, we've had a pretty successful year on and off the field. We've had some great functions. We've had some great kids functions. We've got presentation day coming up. We're sort of looking. It'll be sort of mid-October. We're looking more towards a Sunday night or maybe a Sunday afternoon or a Friday night. So we're trying to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, it's been a very good year.
You've got your tomorrow your kids coaches.
Yeah, tomorrow. So the last round being tomorrow. We've got after that we've got a dinner night on, which the under-9s are running. Then we've got on the netball courts we've got coaches versus parents. On the netball courts, coaches and committee versus parents. I'm playing netball sus. That'll be interesting.
Defence or forward, man?
Don't know yet. I'll do what the coach says.
Nibble centre.
No, I can't run anymore. And then we've got we're having a football game after that, which is the coaches and committee versus the parents on Tyabb Main Oval, just for 10-minute quarters. I don't think we'll go any further than that, but it should be interesting. The kids will be coaching and running water and stuff like that. We're trying to get a guest umpire at this stage. So the one that I had's going to Noosa, but anyway.
Oh, you'll find one. And how's your committee been? What numbers you got on the committee?
Committee, we had 20 at the start of the year. It sort of dropped off around about 14.
That's still a great number to have on it.
It's a great number to have. All have been doing. Look, they've all been great. I've got an executive of 3 fantastic ladies that help me out and probably listen to me and tolerate me more than anything. They've been fantastic. I've got a couple of girls on the netball side of things that have really stepped up and looked after netball for us. Tried to get netball more engaged with football and try and get that club sense.
It's coming closer and closer, isn't it?
It is. But you know, it's very hard at the moment with netball playing on Saturday at either Mornington or Frankston. They seem to be stuck in these venues. And
there might be a little thing around the corner that might.
I'd love to see club netball between the clubs. I reckon that'd be great.
I think it might eventuate.
And you know, these kids travel around, and you know, then you're all at a dinner night on a Sunday night. You know, it's a bit hard to ask them to turn up to Sunday when they play on a Saturday. But you know, we've got that. Couple of good things coming up. So that's presentation night. That's that one. You know, we've got a few other things in the go. The committee's been fantastic. They've been great to me this year. You know, I've had 2 great people get in behind the canteen. You know,
that's great because we you know, Tyabb was a couple of years ago was on its knees. We had some incidents out there that weren't nice, and the club had to pick themselves up from that. And have done a great job in doing that, and you've just seen that move go.
Yeah, sort of a little bit pre-me. I was there at that time. Like I was involved with another club, as you know, at that time. But you know, I sort of saw that, but sort of kept me distance, I suppose.
Yep. Well, the old junior footy gets people involved, and I suppose on the other front we've got Pearcedale Baxter holding other finals on the Sunday. We're trying to get Darren in, but unfortunately he could make it into the show today. But he's doing great out there.
Darren's got the big ticket items. He's got 4 weeks of finals. He's got the grand final, so he's got the big tickets. But that's good. Look, you know, Pearcedale, you know, they've struggled with some numbers in some areas. I know that Darren sort of said to me, you know, they've struggled a little bit here and there, but generally they've done pretty well. Like every time I've gone to Pearcedale, I've had a great time. You know, and they've got a great canteen.
Yeah, and club wise, they have grown and grown and grown.
Yeah.
So that's.
They've got a great support mechanism throughout their coaches and everything like that, you know.
Terrific. Guys, any questions before we start wrapping it up?
Yeah, sort of, I guess a recap on your first year as coach experiences. How's it been? Stress with finals as well, throwing that in the mix?
Yeah, they sort of let that loose on us a little bit late. It was only about 6 weeks ago. I think it's one of those things you sort of go back to the guys and you say, this is what could happen. Do you want to go for it or not? And everybody put their hand up and said, no, let's go for it.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
And then when we put it out to the parent group, you know, The parent group's like another committee, You've got some parents out there that are fantastic and just put their hand up continuously. They don't want to sit in a committee meeting, not that they go for that long, thank God. I think I've mastered that almost. Get it down to an hour.
You're pretty good at that.
But, the parent group's fantastic down there, They're really good. They're really supportive of all the kids. They're really
and
supportive.
probably you being your first year's president too,
Yeah,
made it a bit easier.
You don't get everything right,
Yeah.
but you try, there's things that you're always going to make mistakes. You learn from them and hopefully not repeat them. But, generally try and... I think the more information you put out there, the more people are more relaxed with what you're actually trying to achieve.
Transparency, it's a great word.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Some people do it well, some people don't.
That's correct.
I think I'm in the middle.
Doing well. So, folks, well, we're going to wrap it up now. Thanks for coming in, Doc.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Great. Wish you
good luck to Murdoch. Enjoy.
Wish you all the best for the finals campaign coming up and the remainder of the year.
Yeah. And look, Tyabb will be getting stronger and stronger as the years go on.
Mitch got footy on Sunday?
No doubt. Got
Saturday?
footy today.
Oh, today?
Yeah, playing Pines at Mornington, so big day at Mornington. If we win today, we're a lock in for finals.
Correct,
Right.
and that was
massive.
And remembering I watched that game, the reverse game, and that was a big loss for Mornington, that one.
Bad day, that one. Want to forget about that going into today's match.
No, tomorrow, what are you up to?
Tomorrow we're at 8 o'clock in Rye.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's an early start.
A lot of people go down and use the caravan park down there to stay overnight and call it a holiday, mate. So, no, that's great. Well, folks, it's been great. Wish all the members, all the junior members well in today's Sunday's FDJFL's finals.
Yep.
We'll be Facebooking some live scores and some results. We'll get that around, and then the following that we'll also do the same for the MPJFL the week after. It's been great, folks. Until next week, have a safe weekend, and we'll catch you next Saturday. Thanks for listening and watching the RPPFM David Barke Appliances Junior Footy Show.